The very first level, I'll call it the ground level. And as you can see, there are too many settlements down here. The farther you go up, the less the settlements. When you're at the ground level, you have to be packed by others. There's no enough space for you to stay the way you want. Someone has to organize you because there's only so much space. It's limited. At the ground level, this is where a majority of the people are. The overwhelming majority of people never start anything. It is not that they started something and failed. They simply don't start anything. I honestly believe a poor idea implemented has a higher chance of success than the best idea not implemented. In fact, let me dare say this. If you have such a fantastic, glorious, groundbreaking idea and you're in this meeting listening to me, you are better off you leave this hall. You're better off you stop acquiring more knowledge and implement that idea than continue acquiring more and more knowledge for knowledge's sake. Because no idea comes fully formed. Ideas get clear as you start implementing them. Unfortunately, most of us want ideas fully baked, fully cooked. By who? I'm going to give you some features just to find out whether you're at the ground level. Just check whether you're at the ground level. And the first feature is the fear of failure. There could be many reasons why people do not start ideas. But I believe the primary barrier why we never start anything is ourselves. There's an African proverb that says, "It is no enemy within. The enemy without will do us no harm." And many of us fear failing. We fear being profiled as failures. When do you think you will not fail? If you have been following me for the last 2 or 3 years, I guarantee you'll be successful. And you're already successful. And I've seen a lot of us here succeeding. And I'm not concerned that you'll be successful. I'm concerned that you're going to fail from time to time. Only God gets it right the first time. Everything God created, He said it's good, it's perfect. You and me will never get it right the very first time. When do you think you'll not fail? I think it's very safe for the ship to be at the dock, but they were never made for the dock. They were made to lose sight and get into the seashore. It is very safe for the planes to be at the airport, but if they continue there, they will rust away. Why should you rot at the parking lot? Why should you waste away at the parking lot? Because the gist of a gift is to unpack it. If you don't unpack a gift, you will waste it away. So I challenge you today, either way, you will flop from time to time. Do not allow failure to keep you grounded. Number 2, fear of rejection. There are a lot of people who fear going to a customer just in case the customer does not agree to buy the product. Then you think the customer has rejected you. You don't see it as a rejection of the product or perhaps the timing of the sale. There are some people who never go to their boss to pitch an idea because they fear the boss is going to reject them. They think it's a personal rejection and rejection hurts. They don't see like perhaps the boss has not agreed to this idea at this particular point in time. There are even men who cannot approach a cute girl in fear of rejection. And if you're a bachelor listening to me, from today henceforth, begin to realize that she's just not buying your vision. She's not rejecting you. She may buy another vision or your vision later on when you refine it more. There are some people who definitely cannot even go for an interview or even apply for a certain job because they fear to be turned down. The fear of rejection keeps a lot of people down. You have inhibitions. You can't go downtown. You fear that people are not going to accept you. You can't knock doors to sell yourself. You can't start a meeting just in case they don't turn up. The fear of rejection is real. Now, the fear of the unknown. In his book, The End of Stress, Don Joseph Gowey argues that 85% of the things we fear never happen. You know, there was a soldier that was captured, a true story. And the captain of the enemy forces said, "You're the only POW, prisoner of war. I want to give you an opportunity either tomorrow morning after breakfast to go through that door or to face the firing squad. The choice is in your hands." After breakfast the following morning, the captain asked the soldier, "What did you decide?" And the captured soldier said, "I want to face the firing squad." As soon as the dust had settled on his dead body, the secretary of the captain asked the captain one question: "What is beyond that door?" And the captain answered in one word: freedom. Freedom. Most of us fear the hell we know than the heaven we do not know. We fear the suffering, the hostility. We prefer even the anguish, the poverty, the lack, the misery that we know than the promised heaven. What keeps us grounded? Conformity to patterns. We prefer the tested waters. I want to tell you tonight, every great leader was first resented before they were revered. Every great revolutionary was first condemned, persecuted before they were celebrated. Believe me, there would still be apartheid in South Africa today if Mandela was not first rejected. Barack Obama would not have been the president of the US hadn't Martin Luther King Jr. been rejected first. In fact, the same church that ordained him had threatened to excommunicate him. There is no way you're going to walk the journey of greatness unless you're willing to upset the state of equilibrium, the status quo. Number 5, why do we stay at the ground level? We don't think we can make a significant difference. Most of us believe there are those people who actually make a difference. They are out there. They are more gifted than we are. They are more endowed than we are. They are more driven than us. And because we are not as gifted as they are, we give up on great goals and settle for something less than we were designed. We don't think we are the type that can make a difference. Now, for every level I'm going to discuss with you, I'll give you some tactics. Remember, in every war, we have battlefronts. For every battlefront, we use tactics, and the entire war is a strategy. So the tactics I'm going to share here, number 1, pack your life-saving gear. And by that I mean, gather market intelligence with a sense of military urgency. Begin to see the ground level as a military camp, a military base, a military complex, where you begin to gather information. The information you gather is what informs you of your next move, your next course of action. And you do that right at the ground level. That's the time you try to find out what you need for the journey. You don't start the journey without knowing the details. Get to know the regulations in the industry you want to go in, the standards, any policies that exist. Who are the players? What is the market size? Gather market intelligence. Tactic number 2. Win at the design stage. Win at the design stage. Every battle is won at the design stage. You know, in World War II, even after the fall of Adolf Hitler of Germany, Japan would still have been a very stubborn force to deal with. The Japanese Empire, the Japanese as a people, have the highest resilience on the face of the earth. What changed the dynamics were 2 bombs in Hiroshima and Nagasaki in August of 1945. It doesn't matter the strategy the Americans had, they were losing. Guam Island had been bombed on 7th of December 1941. Hawaii had been bombed. The entire Philippines, the entire Pacific had been conquered by the Japanese Empire. What brought an end to World War II, literally, is the 2 atomic bombs that were released in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And please don't mistake me, I don't advocate for such weapons. But the truth is, you win the war at the design stage. The Americans used superior arsenals. Now, the Japanese learned a lesson. And since 1970 to date, they have won the war of automobiles. Since 1970 to date, the Japanese models have dominated the world of vehicles. How do they do that? They have capitalized on the consumer society we have become. They know you don't want to stay with an older model of any car you have. Once they bring the next model, definitely people don't want to deal with the older model, correct? So they have won the consumer right at the design stage, the design of the product. Let me give you a very stern warning right now. In his book, The Art of War, Sun Tzu, and this is approximately 500 BC, he wrote this: invisibility comes from defense, but the possibility of victory comes from attack. Now, a good product at the design stage is a sure defense, but the only possibility of winning the battle is being in the market with the customer. You're not going to win because of your superior products. A consumer will even purchase inferior products that reach them than superior products that can't reach them. Tactic number 3, prepare for war. Great generals train more so that they bleed less. Great warriors win before they fight. Every battle is won before it's fought. Every mountain is conquered before they climb. That's the reality. Because every time you want to go to a new territory, you'll be confronted by unfamiliar giants who want to stop you from advancing your domain, who want to stop you from progressing. The moment you get into a new territory, a new industry, a new reality, you will find regulations you never saw before. You will see players and interest groups you never saw before. You will wonder where these laws were existing. So you must embrace yourself for war. They say, to be forewarned is to be forearmed. Look at your neighbor, ask them, do you think you are grounded at level 1? Just ask them.